side.
You face the right way too. That's cool. Let's see. All right. All right. Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis camp of the Great Millstone, and we're here to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who live in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and they are as follows. The tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes. The tribe of Benjamin, the so-called West Indians. The tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitians. The tribe of Simeon, the so-called Dominicans. The tribe of Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans, the Panamanians. The tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. The tribe of Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. The tribe of Gad, the so-called North American Indians. The tribe of Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians. The tribe of Naphtali, the so-called Argentinians, the Chileans. The tribe of Asher, the so-called Colombians, the Uruguayans. And the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. To you would say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, just get right into it.
All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old have prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
It says the prophets that have been before, as the scriptures say, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Okay, so what that word prophesy means to say before. So what we're out here now again, as the prophets have come back in this time, is saying the things that are to come. We're prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great, aka America. Okay.
The main question, like what the brother said, is that they prophesy against.
Against.
They're not prophesying on your behalf, but against you.
Against.
So if anybody praying for the healing of Babylon the Great or any various places in the world that's rooted in wickedness, as the whole entire earth is ran by, then you are pretty much on the opposing end of Yahweh Shah.
God.
You're right. You coming to the defense of this wicked ass earth, man. Yeah. They say now you enemies against the Lord, because that's not the Lord's plan, is to destroy this place, all right? To destroy this kingdom, not to keep it going. So there ain't no pray for these people, man. Ain't no pray for Ukraine and pray for Russia, pray for the whole earth. Nah, man, we praying for the elect of Yahweh Shem.
That's right.
Precept. This is Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon. You want me to start at 7? Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
That's the thing. These nations are waking up. You know, Babylon the Great, aka America, has gone around spreading its doctrine, its democracy. You know, establishing its embassies, occupying other countries. You know, changing their way of living, their way of beliefs. Okay, and making it according to them. All right, and going, you know, they go in, steal the resources of these other nations. And Slovakia, and likewise, you know, kill off the people and establish their governments. Okay, and any nation that tries to come against that, they're going to take them out. Just like years ago, what was his name? Muammar Gaddafi. You know, was going to back his currency with gold. You know, and it was number 44. You know, at the direction of the elites that went in and took him out. All right.
That's right.
This is 8.
So we'll talk about, you know, because a few examples of them taking upon that drinking of that cup is, like I said, their garb that they wear. Now they wear the 3-piece suits. Those mean what? The democracy.
Yep.
And all these other countries got presidents, vice presidents, prime ministers, all these things. You know, pretty much similar to what they did over here in Babylon the Great.
Women twerking.
Hey, and real quick too, what? The fast food chains. You don't see what? You see Esau Edom's kingdom all over the place you go. You see McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Starbucks. All right, those are from Babylon, man. You know?
And another thing is when you see these women that come over here from other various countries, What do they do? They've been Americanized. Even the Arabic man doesn't. Some Arabic men don't eat pork, but once they come to America, they let go of their customs. They start eating pork and taking on the customs and philosophies of the things that America does.
You was talking about the women that come over here. What was that classic Eddie Murphy stand-up? So what have you done for me lately? You know, she was all right. She was submissive at first, when she got over here, now she like these American women. Okay.
Yep. Just real quick, Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
God, and nations have drunk of her wine. Okay. And what it means by that, they've taken on her Babylon the Great's democracy ways. Okay. Forfeiting their means of living, you know, how they used to their customs, okay? And the thing is, we know that Babylon the Great is wicked, so, you know, even though those other nations are wicked too, they made them more wicked, you know, because of the ways of Babylon the Great, such as, you know, with the alphabet gang, you know, their currency, you know, which is nothing. Okay, and now these countries, as brother said, now the nations are mad because they realize what is happening to them. Okay, if they had stood alone, you know, they would be all right now because of prophecy. You know, no, they had to drink that wine, and now those nations are mad. The ones that they were confederate with. All right.
I'm going to look at Numbers 42. They say, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her days. So just like the brother said, when they talk about that golden cup, right? They said all the kings, they have committed fornication with her, meaning what? They done, got in bed with her, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Get in bed, pillow talking, ultimately doing what? Taking on their ways and their doctrines and their fashions of life as far as what they do. Right? And they said, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her days. That's why this was pretty much at the point in time, right? All the trades and exports, everything had to come through Babylon the Great. They also got to use what? The dollar. They had to use that as far as a currency. So how all these nations have become rich by dealing with Babylon the Great. That's why, like China, you know, now they have succeeded the GDP of America. Now they say they have the richest economy in the whole entire earth. By doing what? They pretty much did the same thing that Babylon did, and they flipped it up to pretty much to prop up and build up their economy. So instead of being, you know, below, now we're gonna take what we learned from you, and we're gonna take another step, take it like another step up. You know, so take it to the next level, so to speak. You know, so like I said, all these, like I said, they committed a fornication. So again, like I said, that's why you can look around. Oh, a lot of these countries, what? When you get into politics and all the geopolitical things like this, those things that matter, you gotta learn English.
Yep.
You know, you better come to that summit or come to that meeting or that council learning English. That shows you who reigns over all the kings of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, basically too, when you go to the delicacies and the riches, they also heap those riches off the backs of the Israelites. From the free slave labor from us. That's how all those things that get exported and imported, man, that all was done by ultimately free labor over here. You know? So just getting the idea about that cup, you know, so that Yahweh Shemashah has cropped Babylon up to be. Right? And that's why she was saying all of them have wandered after her, wandered after the beast. Right? They are in admiration of Babylon the Great. That's why it was easier as well. And the fear from the nukes and the missiles, all that, that's what got the people to, in a sense, to convince them to forgo their ways and take upon the ways of Babylon the Great. And you said,
I'm just going to add to your point too. You know, when you look at any product here now, how these companies got rich off of Babylon, there's really nothing made here. Again, you know, it's all made in China, Taiwan, all other nations. That's how those other nations got rich off of us. Okay, and that's coming to an end rapidly.
And that's also why we speak out against other nations, because ain't none of them speaking out on behalf of us. What y'all have did to the so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, ain't none of them, man, but you know, what about them? What y'all gonna do for them? No, all y'all okay with reaping y'all benefits, eating of her bread, so to speak. And as long as your economy is going well or doing what it's gonna do, you don't give a damn about us. You don't give a damn about how you get what you got. You know?
Let me get this real quick. Okay. This is Habakkuk 2 and let me do verse 4. I'll start verse 4. Habakkuk 2 and 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
That's talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay? He's very prideful.
but the just shall live by his faith. All right, we know obviously the just is what? The Israelites.
The
All right,
Israelites.
especially the elect of this time, they're going to be the just in this time, all right?
And you also said faith. You know, that's a gift only to the Israelites.
That's
okay?
right. Verse 5 is the point. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Right, and we know Esau Edom was the ultimate prideful, right? And they transgressed by wine, but what? His like the brothers was going into his philosophy, his ways. All right, because remember they set themselves up as the Most High. All right, so all these other nations are heaped up under them. All right, and, looking at the Esau Edom, so-called white man, like, as the so-called God of this world.
All right. They said you need to keep it at home. So just like just look up all the American bases around the world.
Yep.
I think it's like what 800 to 900 bases.
Yep.
And then they just now said they about to put a permanent base in the NATO ally, NATO EU ally, Poland.
Yep.
So they're gonna put it now. And see, that's another example of them not keeping that home.
Like keeping home, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
They need everything. They want it all. All right.
Yep. And with this recent thing that all that gold they found in Uganda, and see the world knows who Esau Edom is right now. Everybody already said, well, we know America's going down there to do something. They're about to overthrow the government. Come from the same playbook. You can't hide no more. You're doing this, and we know who you are.
And that's that neither keep it at home. Right. He sees something you got, he gonna want it.
Yep.
What was another society that did that? Okay. What was another society that did that? Okay. They went everywhere and conquered everything. Rome.
That's the spirit.
Rome.
Okay. They're still going to follow the traditions of Rome.
Yeah.
Okay. What did Rome do? Rome went and conquered everywhere. Okay. They want to have leadership over all the land in some shape or form. That's what Rome did, and that's what America does as well.
Which is going to be equal to what? They downfall because just like Rome, they were spread too thin militarily. You got soldiers here, soldiers there, so it's spread out too thin to where it's not very effective.
Right. And not only that, just to back them up, America is known as the revival of the Roman Empire. Number one, and to your point, you said they were spread so thin. There was just an article out the other day, the recruitment for not going to go. They don't go there. All right. And gathering, that's the law for that. And when you leave for to come by. Okay, with this, everything, they leave you with nothing. Okay, just like in times past, where people. They figure, and they were somewhere too, that they really, if we keep left where they go, for our economy, the same thing, exactly. All highways in the
that's right. The Habakkuk 2 says, yea, all he transgresses, he is a proud, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his hell, and it cannot be defied. But go ahead.
It's like they go. Grape gathering, they say cannot.
Nope.
So nothing that this man really get.
Him all nations, keepeth unto him people.
Right, and that's pretty written here and all this. Right. Example. So listen to these. Like I said, these things be satisfied. Going, keep going, just like back in time. Alexander the Great. They just tired of like this. They want to keep expanding keep the empire. They said the world was quiet.
Yeah. Man, dude, we got this damn near got everything. Been good going on.
The soldiers were.
Yep.
They had been. The soldiers were because they had been out some more and at war. That's how bad I kept like with the he constantly he wanted to
Care about this. Give a dish, gonna give it home. What? From there. What he do? He will continue to his empire. They did we talk about what was going on, and also that's all right. Speak about like the values still different values amount to that. So these are
what is
so like say they had a gold, then gold coin. Now we're going in with like we're gonna put bronze in. So the value was negotiating, and they, damn, we still getting this. Forget that's
It's his nature from the earth. Okay, wherever, and you know, the thing is with that metal, since over time starts to wear out and you brown metal on the edges. That's the same thing.
And then what they're doing, it's like they were new money using these metals with, you know, metals like gold, you know, copper. Guess what? They open this. Hey, ain't you wrong?
even worse this time. Yeah, currency.
Yep.
Your dollar play the same amount as
Exactly.
was even worse now. Like you said, they just keep printing off. That devalue. And then we ultimately
went out another that was red.
The red that Esau Edom going to 5 and 25. 24. You know, it says the earth in the hands of the wicked. Okay, he has it. Okay, you look at his, you know, that's how he does everything. You know, back in Genesis 20, he was blessed with that sword.
And I, it's like the 27 verse 39. And by thy
sword, you know, that sword is any who's any instrument that's going to use a severe harm, period. His sword is pharmaceutical industry. Okay, it's going to cause death. That's intent. That's what man made of the military.
They was making. This is just giving you and shout brother, and the shirts would now have to show dominion. Make it show from off the.
And we broke you know, Solomon, you know, hated.
Like special ones coming in before that they was always revolt. And the general them a bill against.
Yeah.
Yep. They say in the days of Asa, second king Shaponi, in his day, he revolted from the hand of Judah, king over themselves. So that was going to part of when they broke the dominion. But like you say, even we had them to again for a certain period of time, broke free again. This is the today.
Yep. I said the run of, you know, the Edomites go all the way back to the Greek captivity and the ancient Roman captivity too.
Book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4, and then went out.
You don't see anybody. Okay. In another case of great gathering, you get all these major and they have this leftover. Instead of giving it to the poor people, they throw it away.
They call it that.
That's an excuse. To throw it away because profit.
Yep. And then he was take peace.
That's
right.
So you hold hands was all saying prayer and light candles and
All right. All right. You can't tell it's already been set up.
You know, he's called line of wicked. Wherever he goes, kill one another. You see that right now. King, you know, be told, and you people, all right.
he was going back to against each other. Friendship, you know, like they ultimately know Puerto Rico.
You know, even though Lord said Egyptian against the Egyptian. All right, so Ecclesiastes chapter 14, to himself, whom will lead
Last part of that again.
says, take pleasure in his.
And that's the thing. Okay? We understand because you're not that everlasting. Okay, everlasting life.
You know, certain things and try to go to see because, like you said, it had for this man. We understand at the time when come to a pass in the kingdom.
God, that scripture did not consider.
That's right.
Yeah. They might get
in the she said the world before It happens. We're gonna appreciate it. So we had him.
Have enough.
Just
So just the back, he just mentioned that Esau, you're taking a pleasure in the out because you're going to come, you're going to pay it low, right? Isaiah chapter 7, verse 1, come down and sit, O virgin Babylon. There's now this is it represents a lower state in America. It says sit on the ground, O daughter of all right. Says we put rain down as America and conclude
all 10 that are done right now. That all the wicked, especially through these various sites, that damn, that's what they.
Yep. No, despite with the lateral slide in the direction where it came from, but it fell right.
Earlier, time of Jeroboam, I would tell you that Edomites down the temple. So, and stole the Babylonian stole, but the main culprit, responsible was the Edomites. They trying to destroy the spiritual us now.
That's right.
I don't get over there. We trying to third when the Babylonians previous empires, they pretty much took their fasting and incorporated into even ways of took before even so that's the main point of the Babylon. Will prove that the children of Eden and they say, "Oh daughter of Babylon, shall he be even dashed like little stones."
Right.
So hey, so the top of the kingdom, why they reward you even though reward us? The things they have done to us.
No?
Yeah. Just to prove that dollar Babylon, like I said again, like raise it right now. So they got that like the best yes, they got the jab, they try to kill you with your foot, kill you with the air, inside the foot. This man's trying to do not search. They cannot then search. So the next do to be able to what, bro? That and kill us. That's the only way. We do these things that the Lord for the people.
It says,
Cast away.
passed away, man.
back to the Isaiah chapter rivers shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be Esau Edom with your wickedness is being exposed. Right, America, the deal where you do they as the book of 10 verse 7 because of things, right, all talking about you, Esau Edom, like the scriptures are sleeping in bed with all these other nations.
There was exposed America for Negro.
Yeah, that they.
And then
You guys talk about it. What if y'all still got this so-called slaves over here?
and they were found guilty of war.
that you are. He's letting it be exposed, man.
Yep.
These other nations right now.
Kill his men. That's still has right now, right? Oh, even in the sense, even your people against you, but that's the spirit of power you got shot.
That's right, bro.
Just because you're either is to test you put out there and saying at the time diligent, measure what's going on in the world, prophecies of your have a shot.
God.
So, like I said, man,
Whom the Lord shall with the spirit of.
that's in the Lord, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Like it.
Consumed by mouthpieces of your right? Because like Lord not off his throne, open the clouds up his fulfill and carry how shall gonna come glory, right? Holy angels, those chariots. So the spirit of the mouth, he put this word through his men. And then at the end it tore down and exposed, and then the real destruction will come in the nuclear and how shall the holy angels with the concentration of the chariot or UFOs or Oh,
That's right.
peace.
Yeah,
The
yep,
peace, you know, they,
Side, aerial phenomenon.
yep.
Go back to
oh, yeah.
Book of Luke, the verse 8 says, Yahweh Israel is bringing us to where we were in, okay, where we used to be, the rule of this world, and that raised up on, you know, in the final verse 70, down off his throne. All right, purpose of getting that word, you know, getting to the hopeful and doing the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah.
That's right. Fish was a man.
God.
And Aaron was the elect. I mean,
Here,
that's right. Why the angels are gonna get the wheat from the tares.
God.
Get it all.
Yep.
So back to Isaiah 47, verse like naked cover, shame shall be seen. Establish that that Yahweh through his men is exposing Esau, white man, for his wickedness. All right, it says in the book of Thessalonians, whom the Lord shall destroy with the bright. Because when he first came on the scene, in his majestic like fire with concentrated laser beam, and the Lord is going to be shot over here. Right?
God. My ad, he said he's not going to meet he as a man. Goes back to Deuteronomy 28. It says, "Man shall buy you." Okay, and that word "buy" goes into redeem. All right, and that's what he's called here. The whole one of Israel. God, there it is. So when he says, "I will not meet a normal man to be able to deliver curses," you know, king, extra. Who was that back over there? One of the guys get the Israel.
Was it?
Hey, Marcus.
Marcus God, yeah, Marcus God. Anybody tried, you know, wasn't gonna happen. They were no man shall share you. Like he said, I will as a man.
And also, that's what my Bible they reinvented it and had these look at them.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, hey, an example of what? No glory go to his son.
So Job chapter verse 5 says, seeing his or determined the number of his month feet, appointed his bound that he cannot.
God, his time, you know, he's going on with great rain when he's about to feel like that. Yeah.
Job verse 23.
So that's the, I think this new order to go through into as you plan, you know, it's going to bring that.
Of the craft, so they cannot perform their enterprise.
Well, that's the thing. You messing with the food, with the water. It's going to with that. That's going to more being able to buy, you know, and I think it's fair.
Another one.
Daughter of Chaldeans, are you in that dark? As the scripture said in the first verse, God still does so. Alright, that representative of it. Alright. And are Esau's state. Alright.
And that's why we're in that state right now. We're in that as a whole nation. You know, I'm gonna wake up marvelous light of Yahweh, but the whole confused. Right?
It's gonna be a trend. You being the light of the and wickedness of the left hand side. Your light gonna be taken to. We gonna be the entire world, galaxies in the cosmos, citizens, so to speak. Because if you who's the model Babylon the Great? The white man.
Hey, they're doing polls acts, man, and you got to tell Esau that nah, it's people saying, yeah, we.
Yep.
The Lord be upon every proud and upon every lifted up. Whether we see it coming, all right, and what is the Lord going to do? He's going to bring you I feel high.
You no longer be able to put out your unrighteous decree.
Right, bro.
All right, you will you will never be able to that unlawful, man, with that wicked penny.
Thou shalt no in your opinions. I know, I stay your in right either. I the borders will stay. King David, I think they're really elect.
Injuries got by deceit. The kingdom is from one people to another.
Like, so it's not gonna be for no reason. No, the Lord just said, this is no, like I say, your feelings and injuries got by the sea. It's unrighteous with people. You the country, you may do it. No bone cutting them, you know. And what they do, unrighteous dealings. Oh, like we did with the like Wall Street, the black what's the dealings with them. You know what I'm saying? And you know about the structure that you have people. They got books that what's called the American. It says all the tribes. You know what I'm saying? Like they killed hundreds of us.
God.
And then even today, get gunned down. All these injuries. What your injuries do? It's a physical involved with your unrighteous decrees.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
All your bridges by the sea, they've been ultimately by like I said, going to reap and keep it. And then also here with us with the mercy and this and that. That's why I said James kept back my front. I believe the silvers came, right? Because you got it.
Yep.
You didn't do it, you know, you might have to get these things. Got it by lies.
That word does.
Right.
Yeah.
How you gonna discover stuff that was already there? About it, you
Yep.
know?
It's
Take it.
even go we bought out took the vessels.
Yep.
They just want to got what the Ark Titus long, but all these things you have done, therefore a translation.
That's right.
Because you like give it a chance, completely
Yep.
upside down, and everything's out of scripture. It sounds like the whole world. Of course,
That's right.
you can't blame.
Tanks and
For example, that stuff out. But when they, what was it, just summer, we were the ones responsible because we didn't want to take the juicy juice. And that event told us it was coming. You put it out there in January, and then you for it.
right. And then all the variants with release dates like it was the Jordan calendar.
Uh,
And now you got other popping out.
Right. Yep.
Oh, it's more deadlier than before. You know, or anything else. But just like you said, you consider control. Why do you have control?
Right.
Wouldn't it be the eradicator, get rid of them? Still have it.
No, I'm saying the it really means creation.
yeah, Center for Disease Creation.
Yeah, you know. Y'all got this shit coming back that's supposed to be eradicated
Yeah.
2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, 1,000 years ago. Why is it still here?
Yeah.
Why does it say hundreds? You know, why?
Yep.
You know, that's just this man. That's why a translation of Rush, the earth is vacant, it's land. You know what Isaiah 24.
Yep.
But guess, can you get verse 4?
Yep. The sorrow 4 of the earth is the Lord, and in due time set over it is profitable.
You just gotta hold on. You gotta hold fast and that's over. Let's start with our Lord, how shall I have my and the rest of the order. So we just gotta hold and you know said just the Lord keep us in spirit to the end because that change, right? And that's gonna be a real uninterrupted rule.
That's right.
In this right.
I got Daniel 7 and 8.
I'm a good shot.
Look at Daniel chapter verse 18, and but the of the Most High, the kingdom, the king, right? According to Psalms 1.
Yeah, saints. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, all Israel will be saved. The kingdom to us, of course, we understand, but we still avoid the law.
23. It says, but the hour and now when the true shall worship the in spirit, in truth.
Curses, particularly against Yahweh, but our seed, with other nations, come out looking like their seed lines to the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, but like
One more, verse 24, John 4 and 20. The Most High says, and they that
you know, chapter. The idea of Yahweh like looks, and they call this nigga real quick. But this Christians think the true son, you know, how God and Shemashai look like. It's false.
Yeah.
That we tell you image, right? Also tell you that, hey, but God is, to say, like I said, worship. Let me tell you what this is right here. You reject that and or why this color? Well, you're not worshiping. Just gonna say, and if you don't want to accept it, then you are considered enemies of Yahweh Shemashai, and he gonna put you to death.
right quick, for that image.
Yep.
When the Lord come back, then you got to, you know, tow you. Or you just have somebody hook up and take your shit. You want to know what company it is? You know?
Like you said, you need to know how they look. Fine. They have some real big.
Yep.
Projection.
Right.
I said is for you to understand we read. So we know for Caucasian, like as I said, know more about the Chinese man who can save the so-called, like I said, for Judah, so he'll be equal today. Come back and to deliver to Israel, which really be the house of the other nation in here, because not all is saved when it comes to the destruction. Ultimately, in the kingdom, all be saved and be bodies in such kingdoms become. But on this separation, the 1/3 over here in Babylon, 1/3 of over here will be destroyed.
If I, to say, for an image like that, that would defeat centuries and centuries of all to get the two.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6.
So for you, Japheth or Esau, that's a, first of all, the scriptures say of the people. Okay, so takes is on the money, and he is the end. We know money is crashing. Okay, Jacob is beginning that follows. Brother was going Sirach 10, for the kingdom is trying forever and. Yep.
Right, because you got 3 classifications of it. One world being cosmos, would be like a set arrangement, or even set order, like an example, music world, agricultural world, sport, then also nations, right? Nations of people. So atex and cosmos. You got the other one, which means that Earth, the whole entire as itself. But then world that the brother speaking about right here, Eon or Aeon. It's a set period, uninterrupted. If they say Jacob, another is going to begin at that point, right? So we understand, just to classify about the time. So on. These latter times, his age is 12. Start with Yahweh, king, the appointed king, and the like men, as it read, ever and forever.
If I may add, what this brother do with the different type of girls, that's why it's so, GMS stresses. You have to go into, each one. It's we use one of those words and what the truth is, or lost out there for the time of a rulership. All right.
Back in Isaiah, with the people, like the Israelites in the Bible, right? They're giving them to the hand, so we are giving it to the hand of our enemies. He saw even so. All right. This shows pretty much that man, the Lord gave an inch, and he took. All right, so ultimately, somebody get that Ezekiel 18. He saw even so-called white men. Our people, breaking our men, ravishing our women, making our kids alligators, right? Those things that he's done, or he's soon to pay, all right?
Book of Zach, you got it?
This is Zechariah 16. Sword with the heathen are at ease, for I was a little pleased, and they poured my
They held forth him. So he delivered into the hands of our
has had sexual hatred.
hatred, perpetual passion, right? That goes back to the time of Cain, right? But because Abel and Esau and Jacob, all right?
And has said of Israel, force of the sword.
Once again, it's going back. Got it, Jacob. Jacob's important. They don't even proper judgment, right? Look at them.
At a jail, a woman from behind. It was a rope shot. He hit her times. They, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little say by the four.
Yep.
And it's, like I said, people had to eat Thursday. That's what for you eat. And don't get me wrong, y'all gonna,
That's right.
that's what it's mentioned that. Look, Pastor Hall always say, man, shit, if you know that it's most like hell, that you gotta eat them, man.
Yeah.
Eat them. Hey,
Yeah.
you see, but kind of, I'm like, oh my God, y'all gonna,
Yeah.
like I said, y'all, yeah, they just know that you and man, that you're biblical, just
Now, 5-3. Shed the red by the blood that shed it.
so much you add that you now you can ultimately when that was polluted because of the people and the blood.
God.
Right? Because Genesis 9 say, whosoever sheddeth man's blood by man.
God.
That's the only way how the rights, the wrongs can be made right.
Chapter 3, verse 5. But he was wrong for the wrong that you're gonna be the same way. There's no respect for person. The thing is, you pay back double, twice as hard. Just like the brother said before in the Zondervan Bible, it is the only nation that has shown mercy.
Oh,
Man.
okay. Real quick. About mercy. See, mercy rejoices against judgment.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mercy against judgment. You see? That's just against Clunk. It's going to be a joy to pay you. It's things that the Lord hates. 7 is abomination to him. The very that is a you are very proud. Like, you guys driving past, smiling at us. That
think that you as a person, you never be at the bottom where you be transitioned and vulnerable and mental, right? Oh, well, certain things happen, but we always, that's, and like I said, and they say, well, who shall bring thee down? How about you? Yeah, that's why we go back to
that Matthew 12, verse 30. But I say, and this is the words of God, okay, unto you that you realize, they shall give thereof in the judgment. By thy words, for by thy words thou shalt be judged, and by thou shalt be condemned. Okay, so the justified function, which is the Israelite, okay, going to be condemned, heathen nations and thirds of our people. All right.
That's right. I got this is the book of chapter 2:12. Woe to him, a town with and established iniquity.
God, no Africans. That was the Israelites. African name, I think it was like 5 apologize for selling them. But it's too.
Well, like you said, here, what have
Yep.
to do. So, like I said, over them have my hand in it too. But I was just like some of our people, you tell this and that, you know how to.
Yep.
But just add to it, like you just said. But speaking about shit, the two, they said they just like.
Yeah, the house, yeah, Jay.
Yep.
Man, for a little bit.
Mhm.
Well, I see all his own plays.
Yeah.
Makes us his slaves.
Do you not see what? Industry like P. Diddy, saw them, or don't they contracts where they get all the, they don't get plays after they are person.
I just recently watched that when Rick Ross had signed big deals. And the contract, his head down because he knew he was signing that man's life. Okay,
Yep.
he knew to putting that man stay on people, man, to even more stuff, bring more profit to Esau.
In the back here, right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, and it reads, "He that justifies wicked people, and to those abominations, and to those things, okay, condemneth the just." What you do when you sell it, or when you sell your, oh man, with those records, whole music movie industry, games, and a lot of our names were on.
Contract, he wrote slave. Okay, and then we would go to the wars. He would tell people that you were slaves under these record labels, man. So, hey, Jake don't pay attention. See, with Jake just want that money.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, they was putting.
Yep.
Hold on.
You talking to?
Hold on. Come back to what that start. But you realize, well, you do realize, but then you're oppressing your people just like they are. And then they're the people that are controlling your funds.
Yep.
Your funds ain't yours. Especially when you come for the, well, you don't take this and that. It's all your funds. So like I said, they come into the, hey, I glorify. We know that that's why he's dealing with the meek man that is humble. Know they in need of help. Who know they're in trouble. Who know they a savior. Who know they need a hedge. All right. Say the angels praise for the sinner turn from the
God.
Just one.
Just one. Yeah.
it ain't okay. Hey, that's the spirit. Praise the how about you, my. If they don't, they can be cast to the wayside.
God.
See, we focusing on meek and lowly.
God.
That's who the
Got that right here. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, 26. It says, "For ye see your brethren, how many wise men after the flesh, mighty, noble are called, chosen the fools of the world to the wise, and the chosen the weak world not to bring the things that."
So right there, which is just telling you, just for the sake of the scripture, they're telling you, I hope in your stock in these celebrities. These people that are about all these fools, like I say, come into the absolutely. But at the same time, let me ask you, just in a general standpoint, in your everyday life, who can you contact first? Somebody of your stature or lonely standpoint as you. Like we're saying, pushing off if won't come in. That, like I said, the Lord did me. You got getting all this pride. Of course, not dealing with them. See how a lot of that pride and how these rappers, these celebrities been getting judged. They look down on their people. They're not dealing with them. So that's why, that's what I said, when you actually, general standpoint, counter on a day-to-day basis, right? It's gonna be somebody of, like I said, that's pretty much on the same. He's in the NFL. His name on the case, but right now, and he just listening. He knows that. He ain't wrote to me and said, "Hey, cuz I done went out to the camps and I've been fellowshipping." Yeah, he ain't doing that. NFL player, so-called celebrity. No, like I said, I speak. I tell him all. I don't sugarcoat nothing to him. I don't give him no. I tell him all this. No, I'm a person. So the same way I talk to individuals as well who don't have money that. Because it didn't matter. Well, what? The elect, how about Shemal Shah?
Because what? The Christian church think godliness, man.
Yeah.
The world think they look at half and point. You know what I mean? And like, we aren't the, we can't be because we ain't at the high level status, man. You know the deal?
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 13, beginning in verse 20. Okay, so thing, you know what I'm saying, a rich is going to be held because they think they're going to something. You know, poor man, and they're going to be pushed away by his friend. You know, they disappear. The things not to, and yet that's something. As he spake, was
I'll tell you that what? What happened in the world, you know, but they could. Yeah, well, but the Spirit of the Lord put, you know, how you got to come into this full fledged, right? But that's what the Spirit of the Lord so, you know, as I tell him, you know, and just like, and even like to the truth, subscribe to, you know, so you got you to the two different that you could. But I mean, but like I said, in the day, don't be put on the left, right?
Matthew 14 are called, but who are chosen?
Right, so there are calls in this thing, as far as those who subscribe to the truth, right? How to do what? To let you sure so we be a part of those who was called to the truth, to teach and be men of the Lord, be chosen of the Lord's elect. That's what we strive. You know, so many people that's gonna come in, but we understand that we're only dealing with the remnant nation of Israel.
Isaiah chapter 46, verse 6. I was wroth with my people after the inheritance and given them hand. Thou didst show them no upon the ancient thou heavily has thou very heavily laid the yoke.
Now, just above, while you have about with us, this is chapter our power cease and forget. Though we have rebelled, we obeyed the Shai power to walk laws, which he says by service the prophet.
We haven't obeyed I owe by the word tell you the word, but majority of our take heed to the words of
And say, verse 11, yea.
each last one of us point in time going out by Shai. Right?
The power about Shai have sinned against.
And that's the position that we're in today. We're in captivity. Our sins, as the book of Ephesians tells us, we suffer because of sins. Even by departing, how Israel departed, dealt with other false gods, different philosophies that were contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yashai. Ultimately, forsake Bashim Yashai in general. Right?
To say, verse 12, great evil.
That's learned his word, all right? And he did what to do. This, all right? If we did this against him, to his voice. So you could do the right with 12, because that's what that is, the curse. All right?
For under the whole heaven been done as done unto Jerusalem.
There ain't no other nation you got it, man. The Yahweh got a number on earthly so.
As it is in the law of Moses, all this evil is for hath the Lord watched upon us.
All right? The Lord said, if you do this, you became wicked aggressions. All right? Shai brought these. All right?
Simple, point blank period. That's why all these things were put upon them. We had to go through because why? We made an oath, we made a covenant when you have a child, and what happened? We broke it. So that's what we had to be punished for the covenant that about Shemashai, and that's what we have when we experience it unto this day. So the period, this captivity, this very day, we had to pay for our sins.
Now, this is the Baruch 4 going into those curses. Right? All right. As with joy nourished them, sent them away in morning. Okay. That was the curses, captivities. He said, "Man rejoice me, a widow, because they departed from the law. So here again, we went off, okay, and do what he had to do. He said we were okay, and in Isaiah 4, it says that he, and we so he turned away from us because of our transgression. It's out there. He didn't totally cast, but that's what we're dealing with. He says he's left, empty because of his in the paths of discipline and excellence. Okay, that's why he sent away. According to what I was just saying.
Now said to be a lady, so that either a white man or American are they going to forever? As in, there's people like think. Somebody get Isaiah 14, 13. It's going to go on. All right. As it considered, what he's done to the Israelites.
Revelation chapter 18. I won't read that part, but it says, how much she by herself in torment and sorrow, right? That her Babylon the Great, right? That whole, you say, if in her heart I see and am no widow, now see, they consider, they thought that they could get on and on another call for, but now we're gonna get through this. They could never be taken down, right? I see no widow shall see no sorrow. That's pride. That's being bathed in heaven. We know the thermonuclear war already.
Getting ready
To penetrate, right? Therefore, plagues come in one. Well, yeah. Therefore, it's coming one day, death and mourning, and she shall be on a fire. How about Shemel who judges? So for all and all her those trees, the rest of the whole time, they gotta pay for it, and they gonna pay for it. They put it to heart. They always be on top. The Lord said, man, death and destruction, the plagues, and all this.
They're able to benefit. Question says, that dwelleth carelessly on heart, and none else but small white man hasn't got. Right? He's proud. Nobody can take. All right, but Yahweh is going to take this man. All right, because I shall not sit and experience the loss of children. All right, experience these plagues as a relative. All right, even.
And we're at that. Go to the city. Like,